This is a cold startup on an E55 AMG. Holy thing is loud. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Cargo channel. Today we are in an undisclosed location somewhere in Connecticut where we are meeting the Crazy AMG Collector of Connecticut, and that is ClasssyBenz. You may know him from Instagram. He's really famous and is a really stand-up dude. He has passion bordering to fanatism of these older AMGs. This E55 is one of the cleanest E55s in the world, if not the cleanest, to be honest. Just look at the stance on this thing. So now I'm gonna take you around these two cars. What is done, this is the C55 that he just acquired and is the new project for his YouTube channel, which will be linked below. Any of you who like my content, I'm sure you're gonna love his. He's just starting, but he has some marvelous plans for this little C55. I think M113K is going into this baby. That is gonna go away, but we'll let Mike explain a lot more about his beauties, because you know what, he knows them in and out. So this is Mike, the owner of these two beautiful AMGs, and he's gonna run us real quick through what is done to the E-Class and what's gonna be done to the C-Class. So Mike, how you doing?
Good, man, doing good.
So tell me about this beauty. This is something I seriously have wet dreams of this car when I sleep, and everything
savage, man. It's a savage.
It is a savage. Tell me what you've done to it.
So this car I've had for about 2 years. I worked at this company, and basically I had a garage there, so I used the convenience of the garage no matter what the weather was to do detailing inside, to do all my side work. Just convenient versus doing it in the elements. But this car is basically the car that started my channel, ClasssyBenz. E is executive, obviously, so it's just a clean ride. So I wanted to start there. So this car started out bone stock, no carbon pieces. The interior was bone stock as well. I didn't do any carbon work there. The engine was stock. Everything is basically stock. So I started thinking like what I should do, and little by little I started piecing things together. And my vision with this car, thus the name of my account, is ClasssyBenz. I don't want to rice it out. I don't want to make it look less of what Mercedes expected. I want to go just a step above what Mercedes does. So the first thing I obviously got was Vossens. They're 20-inch CVTs. I personally think these rims are made for this car, especially the concave in the rear. I made sure that the offset was just right so that it runs along the body lines of the car. If you could tell from there, basically just it hugs literally right at the fender. I thought that was very important because there are people who make put rims on that are wider, and it looks like a truck that's off-roading. It's not a clean look. I've seen people do it. I stayed away. Besides the Vossens, what I next did, the next thing I did on this car was I took the calipers off. I powder coated them, painted them. I might need a fresh coat because I have been driving it for a while. I do plan on putting some other bigger Brembos for the rotors. I've been using Zimmermans for now from FCP Euro as well. They're a really good site. You basically buy something once, you have it for life. But after the rims, I started doing the carbon fiber work. So the big part of this car, which basically brought it to life, if you look at the stance, the E63 front end clip conversion, this is the piece that I absolutely knew this car needed. This is the second time I painted the bumper, because initially when I put it on I just drove it a lot, so I had rock chips. Now I just recently repainted the front bumper as well as the side skirts and got brand new, this is an XY lip. These are amazing. I got this from Gary Lowe. He's your guy and your plug for these parts. I also got the side skirts over there too for it. But these things make the car, so they're definitely really unique and special, and in my opinion, without the carbon pieces like this, the car is naked. But definitely what set off the car instantly on the build I had was the bumper, the E63 front end conversion, as well as the rims. Without that, I think the car was just ugly. So this car basically had a lot of work done into it. I took the whole interior apart. I'm OCD, so I like to clean all my stuff basically from bottom out. I sound deadened behind all the panels, like for example the door cards, the trunk, so it's better. It's got a really expensive sound system. I have a double din Kenwood in there. What sucks with these cars though from these years is that they are fiber optic, the sound system, so you have to convert it back to analog, which is a pain in the neck. But I wanted the car to have a ton of high-end speakers in the system, which I did. It's got dual 12-inch kickers. I could show the kickers right now actually. So 55 torque, obviously it's a 55, you know.
That's your signature, yeah.
That's
you
my
had
signature.
the 63 torque on your...
63 torque on my ML63, just recently sold that sadly. So as you look inside, these are just pieces I'm finishing off, so obviously this car is always a work in progress. This is red and black weave carbon fiber. I got it from O Carbon. The interior got these little diamond mats from Diamond Mats on Instagram. You could find them. These are dual 12-inch kickers. The car definitely bumps with this. If you look right over here, I took off all the carpeting and did the Dynamat here on the door cards. It makes the car heavier, but I want this thing to be a show queen boat.
It looks great.
Yeah, thanks, man. So so here I got the carbon fiber lip bumper right here as well.
That is something I actually want to put on my car, and that looks really, really good.
There are ones that go a little bit lower, but in my opinion, they look like a diaper. But it's personal preference. I want a clean little lip, so that's one thing. The rear E55 remains the same for the taillights. A lot of people like to put E63 ones, but in my opinion, it looks like a Camry, so I personally didn't like that preference. So my back end is basically E55 because I like these looks as well, like on my C55. It's basically the same ones, but the whole front end is E63. I still have to do the headlights.
I did the same thing to mine, but I smoked them by a guy called Pro Dipper, and he did a really good job. That's Slade over there, by the way, but that's not the start of today's video. Now, I want you to show me a little bit of the interior, because I know you also did a lot of work on the interior, and that it really is special, because I've seen pictures of it. So
we'll start from the back. So basically, just to give a gist, this car was in an accident a year ago. I hit a pothole in the city of Stamford. Shitty roads, you pay taxes, they do nothing. And my airbags right here, my curtain airbag blew up, and my side for my seat. So in the future, in the making, I really want to convert the whole headliner to Alcantara and do stitching. So that's a process in of itself. And I also want to redo all the seats. But if you look right here, the seats are mint. I use leather reek. It's something it's amazing. You put it on, and over a couple days, it soaks everything out. The diamond matte bottoms. The interior, the seats, I want to redo all of them to make it like executive looking. That's a project in of itself. I'm not driving this as much because I have the C55. But so this is something really special right here. So I had carbon fiber, like I said, O Carbon. This is the piece. These panels, I took them off, sound deadened them. I have the carbon on it. It looks amazing. Then I got the diamond mats to contrast. And this is a special showpiece. This is basically made by a friend of mine in Latvia, Estonia. His name is Grigol Designs. This is one of a kind. It's got aluminum paddle shifters versus the little buttons. It's just because I turn the wheels, it looks like that, but it's mint. The dash is 160. I plan on converting it to 200, and also I wanted to take the dash out and do leather stitching. So it still has a lot in the making, but to get to this point where I have it now, it's taken a couple years. I could show under the bonnet as well.
I gotta say, before we go under the bonnet, I really love this red carbon fiber.
I personally love it, man. I think it's the only E like this, and I've went above and beyond. I mean, others haven't shown it, so I think I've been the first who did it.
Well, even if they had it before you, they can't prove it, right?
Yeah, they can't. So I mean, you know, it's just word of mouth. I just know that I've been doing. Oh, I got carbon fiber mirrors over here. These are really cool. These aren't covers; they're actually upgraded LEDs. What I plan on doing is American models didn't have ones that close, like auto close on E55s, and from what I researched. So I do want to add that feature where they close like that, like in Europe.
Yeah, mine doesn't close either.
Nope. Nope. And then I put a black cowl or whatever this is called right here on the grill, so it accents it. Another thing I actually do want to do, which is while we're on the concept of the hood, if you know C63, the W204 chassis, they have little bulges
little bubbles here. Yeah.
I was thinking of doing that for this car, buying one and redoing it, so this car has a clean look but aggressive look to complement this whole front end. But in the engine bay, I'll head over there right now.
Holy.
So I haven't really been doing serious performance mods. I've been more about cosmetics and maintenance and just getting that done. Basically, these are from FabTech Performance. I don't really like these because a lot of people argue they don't really give you any power gains. You don't really hear a whine. These don't whine for me. But so basically what I'm doing with the engine is, so the work done here, I have a brand new SBC pump covered under warranty. Those who know recently, Mercedes basically is at fault, so they replaced this if it's broken. I recently powder coated this whole area right here, the valve covers.
I can see the yeah,
resealed it. I did a little botch job here. I'm going to scrape it off in the future, but all new components, all new coil plugs. I have MagnaCore wires. They're the red ones right there. If you take a look, basically
you can see them from this side right here.
I got those from VRP. They're pretty nice, and I got 1 step colder plugs. But basically the goal with this engine is I plan on, a lot of people say you could reach maximum capacity of the engine with the stock blower, but me with this car, I just want to go above and beyond and go with a Wisec. That's just something I wanted to do. So the goal for this car is basically I wanted to rebuild the engine. I want this car to be the cleanest E as well as the most executive looking one with interior, and on top of having a really performance one. So I wanted to rebuild the whole engine in the future, put a Wisec blower right here, change all this out, and then have one massive intake that goes here and make a hole right here. Yep. So basically like a Hellcat has two.
One of the parking lights, right?
Exactly. Through one of them. I just want one massive one. So at least 2 I think looks kind of corny. I personally don't want to put a mushroom here. I want to put it through here. So I got to do the heat exchangers, the whole shebang, but for the most part, basically it's been maintenance and cosmetics. But this car has a lot to go. It's been 2 years. I've been just slowly squaring away stuff, body panels. The previous owner, for example, who owned this car was a dimwit. He had a clear bra on the hood, which I took off, and they probably had an accident here, and he just taped it off and painted like a moron. So I have some catching up to do and some more aesthetics. The other bad area of this car I have is right over there. Someone hit it with a shopping cart.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't think paintless dent removal could pop it out. So in my mind, I have to take this whole quarter panel and go all the way. But basically, those are the only 2 areas.
I think that actually could be pulled out by a really good body guy.
It could.
Somebody who's done this for like a million years.
Yeah, no. So this car basically is mint, dude. And in the back end, like I wanted to say, we'll get to the C55, but the back end, what I wanted to do is I painted the front bumper as well as the side skirt. So I wanted to paint the plastic pieces and make them looking new. And then if the rest of the car needs work, I'll do it. This is all original paint. So basically everything I paint corrected, did Ceramic Pro myself forever. But what I want to do right here is, I kind of thought of this and no one has done this, or to my extent, so I wanted to do this. I wanted to take a W204 C63 diffuser, the ones that have the big fins that go to here, and I wanted to somehow fabricate it to a E55. I haven't seen any like that. I don't know if people have already done it or are going to copy me before I get to it, but that's another big thing I wanted to do because I think they'll be really classy but aggressive, like the C63 grills in the hood. So, but yeah, in terms of maintenance stuff, I just recently did the whole airmatic system. Me being OCD, I replaced all the Bilsteins. So I have the front strut towers, the rear bags. I did a valve block, a compressor, so the whole airmatic squared away, so I just don't have to worry about it. It's covered by warranty. I get a lot of my stuff from FCP Euro, and basically the SBC pump is new, and just basically a lot of little maintenance and things like that. But in terms of performance, that's something I'm slowly getting to once I piece the car together to a point where I feel it's clean enough, the panels are good, and then I can start seriously modding it. So that's basically the kind of a gist of the E55. I could go on for days, rant on about it, but I just want to give a synopsis of it. So
it is a great car, man. As I say, I have been following the build on Instagram. Again, the link to the Instagram is going to be down in the description. But let's talk about the new project. You just acquired this little C55, which they did not make that many of them, I assume. I can just put in one of the corners how many they made for that year. What is it, 2006?
So 2006 is the rarest year. They only had it for 2 years. This is actually my second C55. I got rid of my ML63. I called it the lesbian housewife car, for those who know me from my Instagram. That's actually what my dad called it when he saw me rolling up in it. And from there it caught on, and basically it was a lesbian housewife car, which is just a baller name. But I got rid of that, and I'm like, I don't need it right now, you know, I don't have a lesbian housewife. So I figured.
But you have, what do you call this? Mini rocket?
So this one I was thinking of calling it, because I plan on doing stuff with it. either the mini rocket or sorry, no, it was the little rocket or the rocket ship, I think I was going to call it, or a black beast. But nonetheless, the E55, by the way, is called Ballerina. She's very elegant on her toes, but she can be a savage with her twirls and stuff, donut-wise. So
fitting
that's
name.
That. But the C55, after I got rid of the ML63, this is my second one. I had one before in silver, but a 2005, and my transmission was going. I think it was a something related to transfer case, but I was too hasty and I got rid of it instead of actually looking into the problems. Being now the way I am and know stuff, I would have actually kept it and went through, but you know, I was younger, I was stupid, so I got one again. The first thing I got to do is get rid of this. So this is disgusting, it does not fit here. I like the original grill. There was a flat hood badge here, I got rid of that as well, put this on. The front end, for those that don't know, this is a W209 chassis, so its front snout, I mean, is a W209 basically. So I got a CLK 63 bumper, or the cover, that basically has side grills, just like I did on the E. I also got a lip that I'm going to put on it. That's what I'm getting rid of.
Which will that will be coming soon on your channel, I assume?
It 100% will. I'm trying to focus more on posting content now instead of just keeping hush-hush and doing some stories. Next on the list is, so the calipers on this are bigger. What I wanted to do to this car was I wanted to take off these calipers and put on CLK 63 6-pot. That's stupid or what? 6-pot calipers that basically look like an E55 one, like in that car, that are just bigger Brembos, but they have 6-pot versus 8, and they're bigger. And these, what I plan on doing was taking them off and putting them in a W202 C43 chassis, where I wanted to put this engine in. So going to the engine now, I'll open up the car, the bay. Okay, so in the engine bay, these are basically known as one of the most reliable AMGs there are, because there's not a lot to it. Like in the E55, you have Airmatic. I had to replace that, that fails. Then you have a lot of various things. These are basically as good as you have. You have a big engine, caliper, springs, that's it. But like I said, the calipers I want to convert. I want to do this, the grill, the carbon fiber piece. And in terms of the engine, I wanted to supercharge this. I haven't seen a lot of people follow through their builds. They only show the end results. And I like going through the process, so step by step. So what I wanted to do is take those calipers, buy a 202-43, put them on there. That's another project from this car in the future. I wanted to take this M113 engine out. It's a naturally aspirated, and the thing is, if you slap on a supercharger, you'll have to lower the boost because they're high compression engines. So part of me wanted to do that, and then I'm like, listen, I could just swap M113K, like the one in my E-Class, and then take this engine, use that in my C43 and convert it to C55. But I wanted to do the M113K in this. That's why this car, I wanted to be a little tiny car.
That's the C43?
No, that's my brother's C280, but that's a 202 chassis like the C43 or C36, which are both cars I wanted to acquire as well in the future. But basically, I had a lot of AMGs, so, and
Benz for the whole family, I guess.
Oh, dude, it's a big Benz family. My dad has one. I have like 5 or 6. I actually have another one, a W123 300 diesel, aka Gramps, but that car has been on and off. It's something I want to do in the future, but we will get there later. So yeah, so I wanted to supercharge this, do some body changes, calipers, use the pieces like this and the calipers on the 202-43 AMG project, but that's later. And then basically I think that'll be it. I was thinking of a manual gearbox. I was thinking of using a Crossfire. I don't think they'll hold up to boost that much, so I have to do some research, maybe get an adapter plate. But yeah, this is more of a spirited driver car. It needs some work. It's not as pampered as my E-Class was or is, but I have to slowly put in, and that's something that, you know, it's another project. And when I'm done with this and that, I put them aside and get some older AMGs. Like I was thinking of a C36 or 43, work on those, and then keep shuffling and upgrading or going one step above what Mercedes did, and just having cars that no one has. Because these things, once people catch on with how unique they are, they're going to start appreciating like crazy, like the W124-500E. But the problem with that is, it's like, that doesn't mean that other cars aren't rare or rare, like the C36. It beats me why it's not skyrocketing. But that's what I like to do, is buy cars that are rare, make them even cooler and rare, like the conversions and projects I'm doing, and just keep them for the future, man. So yeah, those are 2 things in the gist.
That sounds
ready to go for a ride?
absolutely.
Let's go for a ride. So welcome to the inside the V zone. Here I'm gonna lift the airmatic. It's falling out. It's something I gotta fix. But I lift it up on my driveway so the pebbles and shit doesn't get on it. But so we're about to leave. Coming to stretch out her legs a little. Gorgeous roads here. It's nothing like cruising in a AMG Benz that sounds loud, and just enjoy it, man. Bad out of hell, man. It's bad out of hell. Hold on. We got this. We got this. Cornering is not the best in this car. It's not a C-Class. This is meant for the highway shit, but it's not bad. Oh boy. Shitty Mexican roads, man. Let me tell you. Yeah, man, but under wide open throttle, this engine, it sounds like nothing else, especially the supercharger. When I get a Y stick, it's gonna definitely whine. So here we go. Yeah, that's really quick, bro. Really quick.
This is loud, bro. This car is so loud. Straight pipe through and through. Straight pipe. What I also want to do is I wanted to put Eisenman mufflers on it, because what I wanted to do was for the exhaust I wanted to put MB8. Here, let me turn it off. It's getting loud. So, yeah, I don't think we could hear each other.
No, we couldn't hear each other. So what I wanted to do with this is basically straight pipe through and through. Besides the primary cats, I cut the secondaries, resonator, and muffler, and just put tips on. It's a beast. But what I initially wanted to do was I wanted to take MBH headers, get that 3540, whatever they Mike says they do. Speaking with him about getting some for my ML63, but I had to get rid of it for personal reasons. So I'll use MBH on here, use long tube headers, and then in the rear I wanted to get Eisenman mufflers, or the boxes. The C63s, a lot of people don't know, is when they take the E63 or C63 mufflers and put them in E's, which sound really nice, especially E55s. Those are actually made by Eisenman. But the ones I'm getting are the ones that people put, I believe, in M5s, or like the V10 versions, and they sound amazing. So after a set of long tube headers, I want to put some Eisenman tips in there. They go for like $4 grand for just the mufflers, which is crazy. So that's stuff that I slowly get to, but this car is staying for life, so that's little things I do one at a time. But yeah, that's other stuff added.
All right, Mike. I do thank you for your time and for showing me around your beautiful little collection of AMGs. I
wish you saw the other ones that came earlier for the other cars I had, but you know, we'll start from here.
You know what? This is the beginning of a new journey, and I'm super excited to follow you on YouTube and see all your next projects. And hey, maybe one day you can help me work on my little idiotic car right here that has only thing it has is reliability, but that's it. I think we're gonna
make it ClasssyBenz, bro.
I think we're gonna make it ClasssyBenz. Yeah. I think we are gonna sign out for now. If you did like today's video, and if you did like these beautiful Benzes, why not hit the thumbs up and subscribe for a lot more videos to come. Subscribe to ClasssyBenz as well, because his channel will be off the hook. I think he's starting a real snowball reaction. And take care. Have a great day.